We are back at South by for ArabNet. I'm Nima. We have an incredible power woman with us today, if I can call you that, Kelly Hoey. Welcome. Thanks for making the time to joining us today.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit who's Kelly. You know, some of the things that you have done. I looked at some of the stuff, and it's literally like a laundry list of different things. But, and then you talk about
a potpourri.
Yeah. Exactly. But tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing, and share a couple stories maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm Kelly Hoey. I live in New York City. I'm a Canadian and found myself in New York. And most of what I'm going to say, that laundry list of what's on my resume has all come about because of networks. So what I'm doing now, I'm the co-founder with Veronica Sonsev and Deborah Jackson of Women Innovate Mobile, which is a tech accelerator. And we focus on mobile or mobile-first companies, and we require diversity on the founding team. We want to see women in founding roles, building tech companies, accumulating wealth that way, and we want to see them with significant equity and meaningful roles in these companies.
Is it a Y Combinator or Techstar model?
Absolutely, that's what it is. Thank you, thank you. Everyone says to us, "Are you a 501c3?" I'm like, why is it that women in entrepreneurship equals not for profit, men in entrepreneurship equals big scalable business, and we want to see we're in that model. So thank you.
I don't know if you know, but I used to be part of Founder Institute, and so that's a little bit different model.
Yeah.
But so tell us a little bit about the model, and is it international? Where do the entrepreneurs come from? What stage is it? I would love to find out a little bit more, especially because we have a pretty cool audience in the Middle East. A lot of really interesting, passionate, motivated women that are just super cool, and so they ask me all the time, like, "Oh, how's it in America with women?" I'm like, "Dude, you can if you hustle, you can make it happen." You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, well, it's interesting. Yes. So we launched in December of 2011. We did our first program in the summer of 2012. But when we launched, the first entrepreneurs to reach out to us were international, and that's where we saw this huge I want to say need and interest. And there's actually something very humbling when you're finding out that your website is being accessed from Egypt and Pakistan and China, and love that we got all sorts of applications from places in the US and Canada, but it was really interesting. Tanzania, it was really awesome. And yes, to see these women who are really excited and building big scalable businesses, and have these visions to build these businesses within their own countries, and what that means in terms of changing an economic landscape. So, so we're New York City based, but I'm going to say looking for really great mobile products and really great companies wherever they may be located.
And so, why mobile specifically?
Think about your own use of technology. I mean, it's like,
that's a trick question.
No,
but the fact that you're only mobile, right? It makes it a little bit unique.
Or mobile or mobile first. So it may be a company that kind of starts mobile first and then goes to desktop, or it may be that they are maybe they're creating hardware. Sort of one of those things. We know when the mobile is a distraction to what they're doing at this stage in their development. And I also, it's a great question because, for those of us sitting here in the United States, Canada, somewhere in the developed world, when we're in a position of privilege that we have Wi-Fi and we have a desktop and we have all that, you don't realize, elsewhere, they have nothing. One of the things I'm doing, I'm an advisor to the Apps to Empower contest, and this is by DataWind, which is the $40 tablet that was introduced at the UN. And it's amazing. I'm doing this because I've held this tablet, and a $40 tablet, that's a game changer. That's education, that's healthcare, that's banking, that's just all those things, and that's a game changer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can tell you, mobile penetration in the Middle East, especially, is going through the roof. Everybody actually has two phones, which is funny. A BlackBerry and I don't know. Yeah, I think it was my iPhone. What about yourself? Android, iOS? Where are you?
Where am I? Well, I sort of figure I have to, cover all the bases, cover all the bases. So I carry an Android. It was actually interesting. I had to give up my BlackBerry. My past life was as an attorney, so of course enterprise. I'm doing this because I miss the keyboard. I'm going to admit it. And when I thought, all right, if it's not the keyboard, if it's not that productivity in terms of the speed of sending messages, what's the next most important thing for me? And the most important thing for me was battery life. So I think a lot about with mobile, like how are people actually, like who's holding this and what are they using it for? And totally. What, you know, for me, most important app is email. You know, how can I get those messages out? You know, so yeah, I'm Android, but everything else for me is Apple.
Okay, that's funny. So BlackBerry has a 70% market share in the Gulf states. It's for BBM, I think, mostly. Yep. But what do you think of BB10? Have you checked it out?
This bad Canadian has not checked it out yet. No, but they're giving up the keyboard. They just, you know.
That's kind of what I thought too. I was like, you know, that's like that's the one thing that everybody like loves. So.
Yeah, but BBM and the keyboard, and I'm like, come on, you can't do that. So.
You do anything with Debbie or Landa?
Oh.
How all you Canadians kind of stick together, like it's literally like it's a Canadian.
No, once we leave,
the Canadian mafia is taking over. I swear, it's so funny. Every time I run into someone Canadian,
yep. Saw her yesterday. Yeah. I would say Tara Hutt.
Were you at the Women 2.0 conference or?
No, but I had conflict with another conference that actually happened to be in San Francisco.
Tara's actually a good friend too, so I met her cattle herding.
Stop.
Seriously. Francisco Dow does this thing called 50 Kings, and he invites people to like do these crazy things. And
you went cattle herding.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
So she's working on getting the next the next Trudeau in the Prime Minister's office in Canada. So
that is awesome. Anyway, so you also do a little angel investing yourself. Tell us a little bit more. I mean, obviously the accelerator is awesome, but where did you start? Or you were a lawyer?
I'm glad you asked that question. Where did I start? I want to say life-changing for me was taking the Pipeline Fellowship. And if you haven't talked to Natalia yet, she's here in South by. Get her on your interview.
Okay.
Natalia started the Pipeline Fellowship, and it was to get women who are quite happy to write a check for a charity dinner, right? Put a cause in front of us, we write a check. And she said, I want you to take a small amount of that you do with philanthropy, and I want you to do this Pipeline Fellowship, and I want you to commit to investing it in a for-profit social venture, which has been founded by a woman. And it's a 6-month program, hands-on, learning by doing, and you commit as a cohort of 10 to invest $50,000 in this for-profit social venture. Awesome. And it's like, okay, so I take $5,000 that maybe I would have done a charity dinner or this, that, and the other thing, and I'll invest it. So it's not such an amount of money that you have this sort of anxiety or anything else. You're just transferring where you're doing it.
Totally.
Completely, it was transformative for me in terms of how I looked at my investments, where I wanted, categories of where I wanted investments. I don't think my broker knew what hit him when I called him and said, move this, change that. And also when you hear really experienced investors and they say, it's about the team, and I trust my gut, and you say to yourself, I know about building teams. I know what makes a good team. Why is my gut any less than yours? You've done it more. You've done it more. You're some experienced investor. You may have done it more. You may have more of an inside through networks for deal flow. But my gut's equally good. So why don't I try it? Totally. So that was for me, and that really, my only regret is Natalia wasn't around earlier to get me involved doing this earlier, but it's been really transformative. And when I think about also that I love seeing other people succeed, and if I can help other people succeed, by mentoring, sponsoring, advising them. So that's why I think for me this move into entrepreneurship and the accelerator makes sense, because it's those networks, it's making those connections for people, it's helping them become more successful and giving them the tools to be more successful, and that's just sort of a natural place for me to fall.
That's awesome. How does one apply to the accelerator?
Well, you know what, I would say great thing, this is great because I can also give a plug for F6S.
Okay.
It's at F6s.com, and that's where our application lives. It is a magnificent site for any entrepreneurs to find out globally where there's incubators, accelerators, contests. They have over 1,300 listed on there. Wow. So it might be a hackathon weekend, it may be Techstars, it may be Women in Innovate Mobile, it may be Springboard in the UK. They're all listed there. You can search by timing. You can search by region in the world.
Wow.
You can have your application transferred, but if you applied for, say you applied for a mobile accelerator in Brazil, and you said, if other mobile accelerators come up, please transfer my application.
Oh, that's super cool.
It's a fantastic site, so entrepreneurs globally should know about it. And you become on the site, and there's all sorts of perks and benefits from hosting that you can become eligible for. So they're deals.
Cool.
So
F6S.
Yep.
.com?
Yep. F6S.com.
F6S. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this and you want to apply to a program somewhere in the world, including Kelly's, F6S.com is the website.
Before we go there, one other thing, because if we have women entrepreneurs in the Middle East, particularly Middle East and North Africa, the Tech Women program out of the U.S. State Department, it is truly fantastic. I experienced it last year.
Okay.
It's an initiative that Secretary Clinton started, and they bring entrepreneurs apply for it. If you're accepted into it, you come to the United States. I think it's for 6 weeks. You come to Silicon Valley. You get mentored by, I would say, professionals, executives from all the big tech companies: Cisco, Intel, LinkedIn. All of them. You get access to the Sand Hill Road investors. I'm really hoping they'll come to New York for part of it. You go to Washington. You just incredible access.
Awesome.
I met just incredible women from Beirut, Palestine. Who?
Hind, the girl with the butterfly glasses.
I don't know.
I think she was in that program.
She might have been. I met an amazing entrepreneur from Egypt.
Beirut,
yes. I did.
The swimming glasses.
Yes.
Goggles. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So amazing program. So for the women watching this, the Tech Women program out of the State Department.
All right. Last thing we do is called old rules. So you got to just lay down one rule of what drives Kelly, or what have you seen that just works. Like mine. I'll give you mine.
Oh, no, okay.
Be on time, and that's something I'm really trying to emphasize in the Middle East, because people are never on time. So just one rule of something that you live by.
Build your network.
Build your network. Okay, you heard it here. How big is your network?
You know what? You gotta know how to build it. Gotta know how to use it, and you've got to know to build it before you need it.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're here in Austin at South by Southwest. Kelly is here, and thank you for making time. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And again, the accelerator, F6S.com is the portal to apply to her accelerator and any other ones. We'll see you in a little bit. Peace.